Recording has started. Now, so the solution to the second assignment, like I said, we're going to do the solution to the second one before the first one. That's because the second one we can quickly get that done very fast. Now, we know that if we do something like this for I in range 20, and for x in range 20, we can say print x. This is going to print number from 0 to 20. Let's first on this. So we have the, but then we don't want to display everything. We only want to display the odd numbers. So let's continue from here. In our last class, we looked at modulo, and I explained to us that modulo stands for remainder after division. And from our basic definition of odd number and even numbers, we know that even numbers are numbers that when you divide by 2, there will be no remainder. And odd numbers, when you divide by 2, the remainder will be 1. So if I pick any odd number at random, let's say 15, and I divide 15 by 2, there will be 1. The remainder will be 1. And if I pick any even number at random, and I divide by 2, then the remainder will be 0. So if you divide by 2, there will be no remainder for even numbers. But for odd numbers, there will be 1. So we can now take advantage of that and say, if x modulo 2, that is after dividing it by 2, if the remainder is equal to 0, meaning if it's an even number, because remember, if you are dealing with an even number, the remainder will be 0. If it's an even number, then continue. So, and I explained to us that continue is going to skip all the quotes from that point to the end of the loop. Continue will skip all the quotes from that point to the end of the loop. So this is going to only print the odd numbers, because for odd numbers, this condition will not be true. It's not going to be true. So we can run this. So we only have odd numbers. And let's assume I want to check the odd numbers between 0 to 50. I can just change it to 50 and 60, and it's fine. So these are the odd numbers between 0 to 50. So we can even shorten this. That's if you want to. You can say if it's 1, then that's when you only want to print x. So with that now, you won't need to continue. I think this is fine. So you can also do it like this. If x modulo 2 equals to 1, print x, meaning if the condition is not so, you are not doing anything. So this is to work fine. So I have the same result. Any question? Okay, so we've done the solution to the second assignment. Let's now go to the first assignment, the voting system. In our voting system, we want to do something like this. Number 1, we ask for the total number of voters. Then after asking for the total number of voters, we can now start voting. You can vote for the first person. You can vote. We have 3 contestants, Taye, Kehinde, and Ido. So if I vote, I can vote for any of them. If I press 1, it means I'm voting for Taye. If I press 2, I'm voting for Kenny. If I press 3, I'm voting for Ido. So that's how it's going to work. So let's start with the task. First thing is this. Maybe we want to welcome users to the page. Print welcome to our app. Next, we want to tell them to tell us the number of voters. Next, we can say input, enter the total number of voters. So we can say this, we can call this voters So voters number equals to this. So whatever value this person enters is going to represent the total number of voters. Then we can now say, let's run a loop, and we can say for x in this. So we are going to convert this to integer, so that we can run this loop based on the total number of voters. So we can say in range voters number. So x is going to represent each value in this range. So next, to start with, let's just say print votes. Let's just do something like this and see the result. So let's assume I type 5 here. It's going to print vote 5 times. Let's run it. Let's say I type 5, then good, it's working fine. Next, I'll just make a little adjustment to this part so that it's going to be the UI or it's going to be neater. So next is this. We want to say maybe enter 1 to vote for Taye, enter 2 to vote for Kenny, enter 3 to vote for Ido. We can now say input 1 vote for Taye, 2 okay, 1 Taye, 2 Kenny, 3 Ido. Something like this, and we can save this as a variable. We can call it maybe voters choice. So 1 for Taye, 2 for Kenny, 3 for Ido. So we can now go with our if statement. If voters choice is equal to 1, then we do something. If voters choice is 2, we do something. If voters choice is equal to 3, we do something. Maybe if it's none of this, we still want to do something. Maybe print incorrect voting, incorrect, something like that. So if voters choice is 1, we want to do something. If it's 2, we want to do something. If it's 3, we want to do something. So let's now discuss this. If voters choice is 1, we want to say, okay, you voted for Taye. So let's just print that out. Print you just voted for Taye. Then copy, change this to Kenny, then change this to Ido. Now to the next thing, which is I think the main issue we had, is how then do we write it such that if I pick 1, it will add the vote to the total number of Taye's votes. But if I pick 2, it will add to the total number of Kenny's votes. If I pick 3, it will add 1 to the total number of Ido's votes. So to do that, we can create 3 variables here. We can call this Taye votes and initialize it to 0. We can say next is Kenny votes and initialize it to 0. We can say Ido votes and initialize it to 0. So if I pick 1 now, I can add 1 to Taye votes. So I can say Taye votes plus plus. So I'm adding 1 to Taye votes. If I pick 2, I can add 1 to Kenny votes. I can just say Kenny votes plus plus. Then I can say Ido votes plus plus. So remember I said plus plus is the same thing as saying Taye votes equals to Taye votes plus 1. So I'm adding 1 to it and I'm setting it back. Initially, let's assume I picked 1 now. Taye votes will change from 0 to 1. So when next I vote again, Taye votes will now change to 2. If I vote for Taye again, If I vote for Taye again to change it to 3, so you keep adding 1 to it. So this is the shortcut. You can just say Taye vote plus. We have all of this. So next is when we are done with the all voting, maybe we want to see, of course, we need to see the winner. We can now say that's outside our loop. We can now say print Taye as, then concatenate the total number of Taye's votes. Taye votes. Then you can even just write it in 3 lines. Maybe just Kenny as Kenny votes. Right? Idowu as Idowu votes. So we have this. When we get to the app, welcome to our app. It tells us to type the total number of voters. Then to initialize these 3 variables. Next, we have this loop. So for x in orange, this voter's choice equals is going to tell me to input my choice. Then once I input my choice, it's going to do this, or this, or this, and if it's not any of these 3, it's going to do the else. But remember, this is inside the loop, meaning that it's going to run this command based until we get to the end of this range. Until we get to the end of, so it's going to keep repeating it over and over and over again till we get to the end of this range. So when we are done with everything, that is outside, when we are done with this whole loop, then it's now on this code. Do you have any question?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Before we were using function
Yes, sir.
to do this.
Yes.
It was just last class that you taught us the for the loop. So we were all what we were doing is trying to use the function to solve this assignment. Instead, even all that you did is just almost all I've done, but we are using the for loop and the function trying to, you understand, trying to call it for, repeat everything, you understand? That's where I got stuck.
Okay.
Understand this now?
We may still use function, but we need this line. This line is really important. This line will be the one to tell us, it will be the one to call, even if you are using a function. You can keep all of this inside a function. But this particular line 6 is very important because it's going to be the one to call on that function. That's even if you are using a function. Based on whatever number the user types, yeah, we can still use a function with it. I just feel we can achieve it without creating a function, but we still need this line 6. This line 6, because if you don't have this line 6, it's not going to know the number of times to run it. It's not going to. So that's the essence of the line 6. This line 6 is going to keep calling. Even imagine we put all of this inside a function. It will keep calling on that function until we get to the end of this range. So that's why, in fact, the essence of the assignment is to test how much we understand the loop I taught us in our last class. So that's the main reason I gave us the assignment. But again, like I said, you can do all of this without function, with or without function. But then you will still need this. You still need a loop, a for loop in it in order to make your work so easy. You still need it. A loop is going to do something at a particular number of times. In this case, till you get to the end of this range. Do you have any question? Any other question, please? Let's run it and see if it's working fine. Let me first clear this. So, invalid syntax, Taye plus plus. Let's see why it's like that. Taye vote plus plus. That's line 10. Taye vote plus plus. as it in full and see if it's going to still do the same thing. Okay, let's start it in full. Okay, enter the total number of voters. Let's say 5. So let's say I vote for Taye. Oh, okay. Now, interesting. Who can tell us what is going on here? We have incorrect. You thought to say you just voted. I pressed 1. You thought to say you just voted for Taye, but somehow it's saying incorrect. Who can tell us what is really going on? Based on this, you can tell us. Like, it's very funny. What just happened is very funny. But based on the explanation, you can tell us what is happening based on what we've done so far. I pressed 1, but somehow it's saying incorrect. You can explain what's going on. Okay, this is it. Remember, I explained to us that whatever you are getting from an input is a string.
You need to put int.
Sir?
Voters choice. I think we need to put int before voters choice, as in before the input, so that it will come in as integer.
Thank you, sir. So it's going to convert it from string to integer. That's the view we have. Thank you, sir. So let's run it again. Then also, let's just make this better like this. So I'll clear everything again. Then let's run it. Enter the number of voters, let's say 5. Then 1 for Taye, let's say 1. You just voted for Taye. Then again, let's say I voted. You just voted for Kenny. Let's say 1 again. You just voted for Taye. Let's say 2. You just voted for Kenny. Let's say 2. Now let's see what's the why do we have the error here? Oh, you can only concatenate string with integer. Let's fix that. We'll just say str this str this.
There's another error.
Okay. What's the other song?
That line 16 is supposed to be do vote, not double equals to.
Oh, thank you, sir. So good. Let's run it again. So let's say 7 voters this time around. Then let's vote for Idowu. Let's vote for Kenny. Let's vote for Idowu again. Idowu, Taye, Kenny, Idowu. So at the end of the day, Taye has 1 vote. Taye has 1. We can just concatenate votes to it. Kenny has 2. Idowu has 4. 4 plus 2 plus 1. Everything is 7. Now, any question? So in our last class, I explained to us that today's class, after today's class, is going to be like continuation of this assignment. It's going to be continuation of this. So before we go to today's class, let's quickly explain the next assignment. It's going to be continuation of this assignment. So this is what we're going to do. Now, in our app, we have 3 participants or 3 contestants. Okay, we have 3 contestants. But these 3 contestants are default contestants. They are default. So maybe it's not cool enough. We should be able to first register the number of contestants, then the name of the contestants. Then we can now start voting. So what you're going to do is you first say enter the number of contestants. Then next you will now enter each name of contestant. You enter the first contestant, second contestant, third contestant. If we have three, let's assume I have three, but let's assume I have five. I will enter uh, the name of the five contestants. If there are seven contestants, I will enter the name of the seven contestants. So enter the names of the contestants. So I will enter the names one after the other. So after I enter the names, then we can now come here, enter the total number of voters. Then here it will be one for each, one for maybe the first, two for the second, three for the third, four for the fourth. If we have five contestants, then five for the fifth, on and on like that. So if you have seven contestants, it will be one for first, two for second, three for third, on and on like that till you get to the end. So if it is one now, then you're going to be voted for the first contestant. What you're just doing is you're adding this part. Enter the number of contestants, enter the names of the contestants, then at the point of voting you tell one for each, one for the first, two for the second, or you may make your work easy. This point you can just say type the name of your contestant, but that may not be cool considering the fact that the user the voter might mistakenly, maybe you're expecting the voter to type a small letter, the voter might type a capital letter and all of that, or maybe you might put extra spaces. So you might say type the name of your contestant. So and if it's any of this, you just add one to that person's votes. You might just say type the name of your contestant, or better still, you can just say one for the first, two for the second, three for the third, four for the fourth. You get to the end of the names. Do we get what you're saying? Do you get what you have to do? Don't worry. Maybe for now we are not equipped enough with what we need to get it done. But I'm just giving us the task before, and we want to advance this assignment a bit. Enter the number of contestants, enter the names of the contestants. Then after entering that, then at this point you're going to say one for, let's assume I have three names and the Atari Kenya and the Uden is going to be exactly like this. But let's assume I have five contestants. It's going to be one for the first name you entered here, two for the second name you entered here, three for the third name you entered here, four for the fourth name you entered here, and five for the fifth name you entered here. So and I said that you can also make your work maybe less stressful by just, instead of doing it, you can just say enter the name of your preferred candidate, something like that. So and the person will enter the name of his or her preferred candidate, and you add one to that person's vote. Do you get what you have to do? Do you understand the task?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. So let's now go to today's task. Today's class. Today we will be discussing Python dictionary. Python dictionary. So let's discuss what a dictionary is in Python. A dictionary is just like a list. Remember, a list is used to keep, let's say my list. Let me just call it my list. A list is used to keep many values. So a dictionary is something similar to a list in the sense that it can also keep many values. But the difference is this: when you are dealing with a list, the items are arranged based on positions. That is, this is at position 0 or index 0, this is at index 1, this is at index 2, this is at index 3. So if I want to see the items at maybe index 2, then I'm going to say my list index 2, something like this. I'll write it like this. So this is going to give me 6. This is how to access values in a list. You use the index. The index is very important when you're dealing with Python list. But in this case, when you're dealing with dictionary, let's say my dictionary, I think it's better. So when you're dealing with dictionary, number one is not going to be square braces like this. Instead, it is curly braces. That's the first thing. Python dictionary is curly braces, while the list is square braces. That's the first thing. Then the next thing, which is very important, and it seems to be the most important thing here, is that instead of keeping items in index, you store item using key value pair. key value pair. A good way to see that is this. Listen. Do you have any question? Okay. So we keep items in key value pairs. Now, what that means is this. Let's assume I want to save an item here. I won't just come, let's say I want to save these 4 items here. I won't just come here and say 4, 5, 6, 7. No, you don't do like this when you are saving items in dictionary. Instead, you give each value a key, and I can give it any key of my choice. So I can say, I can call this first, and this is the value of first. I can call this second, and this is the value of second. I can call this third, and this is the value of third, and I can call this fourth. Note that the keys are in quotes, and this is the value of fourth. So this is the key, and this is the value. This is another key, and this is the value of that key. This is another key, and this is the value. This is another key, and this is the value. So if I want to see what is here, I can now say my dictionary or my diction, then show me what is at this. So this is going to show me 4. I can print this out now. You use the, instead of using index now, you use the key. This is a key, and this is a value of that key. This is a key, and this is the value of that key. This is another key, and this is the value of that key. This is another key, and this is the value of that key. So let me run this now. We have 4 here. So if I say third, it's going to show 6. So what makes this different from this is this key value. I can choose to use anything. I can just say try why this is Kenny, and I got this Ido, and let's say this is another something like this. So if I want to see 4, I'll just say try. So I'll use the key to fetch it. So this will display 4. Any question on that? Now let's explain when to use a dictionary and when to use a list. Well, most times.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I see that we store only what's it called now, numbers.
Yes, sir.
As the value of it that we are storing. Can we also store what's it called alphabet, like instead of having taye, can have the taye in place of 4 and have another and name it in another way.
Yes, sir.
And can we have alphabet like taye or other one store as the value?
Okay. We can store something like this, name. Name is taye. Let's say H. Let's say this time. Let's say can code. And say this is top. Then we can say let's say languages, and we can just say English, Yoruba. Let's say we have these languages. Let's start it. So we have this. Let me break it down to make it easy for us to understand what's going on here. Okay, I think this is easier to read now. this will not throw back error due to the indentation. Okay, it's not signed. So let's see what's going on. Our dictionary starts here and it ends here. Inside the dictionary, we have 4 keys. The first key is name and it has a value of Taye. The second key is age and it has a value of 10. The third key is can code and it has a value of 2, which is a boolean. This is an integer, this is a string. The next is languages and it has a value of a list. So we can save other data types inside our dictionary. And so if I say languages, I will say English, Yoruba, Python. English, Yoruba, Python. In fact, I can still do something. This is very interesting. I can say for X in languages, in my diction languages, print X. So this is print, I write X. So this is print, I write English, I write Yoruba, I write Python, something like this. Languages is not defined. Oh. I write English, I write Yoruba, I write Python. So this is a key and this is a value, which is a string. This is another key and this is a value. The value here is a number, an integer. This is a key and the value here is a boolean. This is a key and the value here is a list. And of course, since we can loop to a list, we can use our loop to loop to a list, and that's what you are doing here for X in this. So it's going to show each of the items there. Do you have any question?
Yes.
Okay. So.
All right. So what you're trying to tell us now is that list is can be inside a dictionary.
Yes.
Because I'm saying that the language is using the square braces instead of curly braces, and that's a list.
Yes, the languages is a list. The languages is a list. And
So
you can still have
sorry.
another dictionary here. You can still have another dictionary even in a dictionary. You can say name is, let's say, Lautech. Then let's say department is, let's say, chemistry. So this is a dictionary inside a dictionary.
Okay.
So if I want to say
Now, another thing I'm trying to ask is that in dictionary, it doesn't matter if it is a string, integer, float, or whatsoever, boolean. You can just input them without trying to concat and change the value. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't get it.
You know, for example, you should look at line 22.
Okay, line 22. Okay.
The tire has plus string. You understand? You know the word you use string just to be able to make tires both count. You understand?
Yes.
But in dictionary, we don't need to use string, integer, or whatever to change anything.
No, it's still what we are just doing here. We are only storing these values inside this dictionary. We are just storing them there, and these are separate entities. This is one entity, just like this. Just like this 4 is one entity here. This is also one entity. Then you see this comma, meaning you want to store another entity. Just the same way. This we have this comma. Then this is another entity, the key and the value. Then just like this, if you want to store what you have here inside the list, it would have been like this. It would have been like, let me just put it here like this. It would have been like this. There won't have been need for any key. Let me just copy this. Then lastly, just copy this. So if you want to store, of course there will be no need for this. So if you want to store this, what you have here inside the list, it would have been like this. So everything here now is inside this big list. Inside this big list, we have, this is the first index 0, index 1, index 2. This is index 3. And this is index 4. Do we get it?
Yes.
So they are just separate entities. This is one entity. This is the key and the value. They are separate. They like the key and the value stands for single entity. So this is one entity. This is another entity. This is another entity, another entity, and another entity. So inside this place now we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entities.
We have string, we have integer, we have boolean inside.
Yes. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's assume I want to say LAUTECH. I'll just say my diction. Then I have school. So that, if I say my diction school, it's going to print this dictionary out. Right? For instance, let's say print my diction school. Press on this. We have this dictionary, name LAUTECH, department biochemistry. But we want to only see this LAUTECH. So we can now say name. So it will first search for school. After searching for school, it will now search for name inside school. So this will print out LAUTECH. Press on it. So we have LAUTECH. Do we get it? If I want to see Yoruba, what am I going to do? Tell me what to do. If I want to see Yoruba, tell me what to do.
Print language.
I'll say language. Okay.
No, using the curly braces.
The curly braces like this.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Okay. If I want to see Yoruba, what am I going to do?
Print languages in curly braces, then Yoruba.
Like this?
Yeah, then Yoruba in
Yoruba in
square braces.
Okay. This is turning back error. So what am I to do?
I think it's
To curly braces.
Sir?
Language should be changed to square braces, not curly braces.
Okay. Okay.
Yoruba next. Oh.
It's still turning back error.
I'm not familiar with the calling basis or all this one, but I just think the order is going to be my diction first. After print,
My
we come
diction.
with my diction.
Okay.
So we go to languages.
Okay. Language is like this. Like this.
Eh, I mean, I'm just trying to say, I mean, to see how how it is going to be, yeah, arranged in order.
Okay,
But
see. See.
so my diction, languages, and I think we are going to have maybe we can't put Yoruba directly, so I don't know what you are going to put there.
Okay,
Maybe
let's
it's
put everything
one
together.
or two.
It's going to be my diction languages. Let's put languages here. Next, we know
Oh,
that this.
hello, let me try.
Okay.
I think I'm not really conversant with the calling phrases or something, but let me say the way I understand. After print the languages, since you said you can just use first, second, and third for each of the one instead of using the list. You can use English first, Yoruba second as the value. So I think we can just write languages, then we can just number it as maybe the first one will be English first, English second, Yoruba second. When we call the second, I think we'll see Yoruba.
No, in that case, you're already altering our variable. We don't want to alter this variable. We just want to like assume you don't own this. Someone owns this. Your job is just to display this here from this dictionary. So note something. Note that this is a list,
Okay.
and because it's a list, you have the liberty to use your index. So when you say my diction languages, it's going to bring out this list. Like let's take it step by step. My diction languages is to bring out this list because this is the value of my diction languages. Let me try this. So we have this. So inside this list now, I can access the index one. So that will give us Yoruba. Do we get it? In fact, to make our work even easier, let's do this way. I can save as variable a and say my diction languages. Let's say print a. Let's say print a. We have this. So I can now say a index 1. So that's going to print Yoruba. Do we get the explanation? If we are accessing a list, we use the square braces and the index. If we are accessing a dictionary, we use the square braces also and the key. That's the difference. We use the key. But if it's a list, we use the index. If it's a dictionary, we use the key. Do we get it? Not
Yes.
that
Yes.
as at
My, I have a question.
okay.
So does it mean that in my dictionary, we can also have a list in it?
Yes, that's what we have here already. We have the lists. Yeah.
Okay.
Not the square braces. This shows is a list. Not the curly braces. This shows is a dictionary. Do we get it? Another task.
Yes.
Another task. If I want to see, I want to see 9. How do I go about it? I want to see 9. How do I go about it?
Print my diction.
Okay, friends. Addiction. Okay.
Then languages. That's square braces.
Okay.
Then index 3. Index 1.
the results. Let's on it. Let's see. 9. Next. Let's see. I want to see James. How do I go about it? I want to see James. How do I go about it?
Change the 3 to 4.
Okay. How do I go about it?
Change the 3 to 4.
Okay. Change it to 4. Is that her?
Yes, sir.
Let's on it. Let's see. No. It's not giving us our results. This is a list that contains James. We just want to see James. Not a
Okay,
list
just
that contains.
ID.
Is that?
You just want to see James.
Yes.
5 before 0.
40, yeah.
Good.
40.
Perfect. So that gives us James.
Yeah. I didn't get that before.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes. I want to see GSS1. How do we go about it?
I think you just change it. What you are going to take out all the you are going taking out 4 and 0 and change language to class.
Okay. Sir.
You now change language to class.
Okay. I'll change language. These languages. We change it to class.
No. Okay. The language will still remain.
Okay, sir.
Language will remain. So you change that. You add 5.
Okay.
5.
Like this.
And 1.
Is that?
Index 1.
No, it's supposed to be GSS1, not index 1, because it's a dictionary, not a list.
Yeah.
It should be.
GSS1.
Like this.
Yes, sir.
Let's on it and see the results. We have ambiguous. So, what's going on? Let me explain the error. From the error message, you understand what's going on. It's telling me that there is no key called GSS1. That should help us. It's saying that there is no key here called GSS1.
Index 1.
Saying there is no key.
I think we need to the double code on class should be single code.
Sorry, my bad. This can be single quote or double quote. It doesn't matter. This department here, it can be single quote or double quote. It doesn't matter. So even if this is single quotes, we still have the same error. We still have the same error.
That means you are going to have language and class only.
Language and
Class.
okay, very close, but not yet. Okay. It should be like this.
You
This
are-
is going to give us the results.
No, you 5.
You take out the 5.
Like this is going to give us the results. Language is 5 class. Why is it like this? Note that all of this is still inside a big list.
Okay.
So when you pick languages, you are picking this list. Then this is index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4.
Oh.
James is index, this list of James is index 4. And this is index 5. So after picking this, you now want to go a step deeper. You want to pick this GS1, so you say class. Do you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the other time when we wanted to see 7, we pick this index 0, index 1, index 2, then index 3. After getting here, we can now go a step deeper and pay index 0, this will give us 7, and if you say index 1, this will give us 9. In the same sense, this is index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3,
I said it in the wrong.
index 4, is that index 5. This is index 5. When on getting there now, you can now go a step deeper and a step further and pick the class there. So this will give us GSS1. Do we get it?
Okay.
So please, this is very important. Like, you're going to be having nested nested data types like this, one inside another, inside another, inside another, like that, and you'll be picking them. Maybe you may have to pick this inside this inside this inside this. But this just to show us how it works. Inside this one, inside this class, you may still have another data type, maybe another list inside it. And we still have 2 pending data types that we are yet to consider aside this list and dictionary. We still have 2 other ones that we can still be nested on like that. But don't worry, you're going to understand all of this. But do we have any question as regarding what we've done so far? Do you have any question? Do you understand why we are writing this line? Is there anything about
It will
let's
be able to access the dictionary.
you said?
We are writing that line 34 to be able to access dictionary.
No, to be able to access this GSS1. If you just want the whole dictionary, would have stopped here. This would have given us this dictionary back as a result, because this is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, this is index 3, this is index 4. Then this dictionary is index 5 of these big lists. So if we want to, we would have stopped there and it would have given us that dictionary. So inside this dictionary now, we now want to pick this class. So we can now go a step further and say class. Please remember that, or please keep in mind that we use key to access it. The other time you would have gotten it, you said we should put GSS1 here. GSS1 is a value. This is the key. Note this column. This column separates the key from the value. So use key to access dictionary, to access items in a dictionary. So that's why we are using class, so that we can get the value of that key. Do you get it?
You said we use key to what?
To access items in a dictionary. What I mean is this. If I want to see biochemistry inside this school, I won't come here and say school, then come here and type biochemistry. No. This biochemistry is a value. Instead, I will use the key of that value. The key. The key is department, so I will use the key instead. Do you get it?
Yeah.
This is a key, and this is the value. Note this column. The column separates the key from the value. This is a key. This is the value. So this comma means we are done with one key value pair. We call this a key value pair. That is, this is a key, and this is the value. Meaning this makes it a pair. This is a pair of key and value. Then this is another key, and this is another value. So this is another pair. So we have 2 pairs of key value here. Do we get it? So if you want to see Lautech, I won't come here and say Lautech. No. Instead, I will use the key of that Lautech that I want to see, so which is name. Okay. So once I call on name, the name will be the one to fetch Lautech for me. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you're dealing with dictionary, you use the key. But when you are dealing with a list, you just use the index. Index 0, index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, and around like that. Any question?
Yes, my question is, can we also use single code for the value?
Yes, sir. We can.
The
Depends on.
value stored inside the key.
Yes, sir. We can. We can. We can. You can use single quotes. You can use double quotes. Just depending on personal preferences. Whichever one you want to use. Okay. Let's